Welcome back to BS with Brian Simpson. If you're seeing this, I may already be gone from Albuquerque. And you can catch me next at Laughs in Seattle, March 28th and 29th. Also, I'm doing a weekend at the Comedy Mothership, April 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then followed up by the Punchline in Sacramento, May 8th, 9th, and 10th. All right, so come holler at your boy in any of those environments. Actually, I think the Mothership show is already sold out, except Sunday. The Sunday still tickets for the Sunday show. Anyway, we're here. We're back. And we're going to start off with a silly article here. We got an article here. Shout out to all my procrastinators and masturbators. Coffee theft surges in the U.S. as prices for the beans soar. See, I didn't know that. I thought Trump was lowering prices. I don't know. Man, I feel so, like I miss Rob so much because he kept me informed because he watched all the news and shit. And I feel so fucking stupid being sort of hands off. I was just so exhausted by the politics. I mean, y'all know me. If you watch this show, you already know. It's like, and not the real politics, but like what's actually happening. But I mean, like the everyday petty little gotchas and squabbles and did you see what he did with his hand? And did you hear? It's like I don't need that shit in my life. Just every day getting up and being angry. I just can't do it. But because here's the truth of the matter here. I don't feel any differently about any of these people than I ever have. I have yet to come across a piece of information. Actually, that's not true. Like we've discussed before. Elon Musk is the only person in all of this shit that I've changed my mind about. Not that I was ever really big on him, but I'm convinced that he's more of a bullshitter than a genius. Maybe he a genius bullshitter. And we've discussed this before. That all started with when he pretended to be good at the video game. I just can't get over that. I just can't get past that. It's something about the type of person that would need to do that when they already have everything is wild. Yeah, but these coffee prices ain't going away. I mean, these farmers ain't getting their farms back. These Social Security recipients, I don't know, they're all scared. They don't know what's next. I don't know. So people stealing coffee. Why do you want to be awake for all of this? We need to be stealing these sedatives, nigga. Indiana boy, 10 years old, dead after 340-pound foster mom sits on him for acting bad. What the fuck, bitch? Jennifer, okay. A 10-year-old Indiana boy was crushed to death after his foster mother, who weighed 340 pounds, allegedly sat on him for several minutes because he was acting bad. Jennifer Lee Wilson, 48, was sentenced in January to 6 years in prison. 6 years for killing the kid? With 1 year suspended to be served on probation. What? She was charged with reckless homicide in the death of Dakota Levi Stevens on April 25th. Police were called to a home in Valparaiso, Indiana, because the boy was not breathing and turned out to have no pulse, CBS News reported. An officer found bruising on the child's lower neck and chest. Officers attempted to resuscitate the boy, but he was transported to a hospital where he later died. Wilson told police that the boy had just run away from home and she had found him at a neighbor's house and brought him back home. She said he was still acting bad and threw himself on the ground, telling her that he was leaving, according to a court filing. Wilson told police that when she attempted to stop him from leaving, she does not know if she tackled Dakota or fell to the ground. However, her intention was to hold him. She said she sat on his midsection for about 5 minutes. Yeah, bitch, that'll kill somebody. You 340 pounds. That'll kill a grown man. She said she sat on his midsection for about 5 minutes. He eventually stopped moving, but she believed he was faking. Are you faking? She asked before she rolled him over and noticed his eyelids were pale. Wilson then began performing CPR and called 911. On April 27th, South Bend Memorial Hospital reported that Dakota had died. He suffered organ and soft tissue damage, liver and lung hemorrhaging, and other injuries. An autopsy revealed the cause of death as mechanical asphyxia and the manner of death as homicide. Yeah, you evil cunt. See, I was in these foster homes. And listen, truth be told, most of the foster homes, most of the foster parents are decent people, but the thing is, it's just not enough of them. You know, it's just not enough people that want to be foster parents or that can even deal with being foster parents that, so it's inevitable that kids are going to be sent to, so they have to lower the standard if they want to home these kids, because what foster kids need more than anything is consistency. And so it's kind of like I don't know, like a dragon eating its tail, because if you end up in an abusive home, because I was a very defiant kid, and you wasn't gonna shut me the fuck up if you abusing me. But the problem is that oftentimes if you report abuse, they don't take you out the home right away, right? And even if they do, you might be leaving behind your siblings, or the idea of having to pick up your life and move again and switch schools again and be the new kid again and get to know people again and be on your best behavior again and not have room to have to impress another family again. That weighs against the abuse that you're suffering, and I can't blame people for not wanting. I mean, because you're basically, if you sign up to be a foster parent, you're not getting, you're getting kids with psychological problems. They're in your house because they was abused or abandoned, and some much worse, so, and so you may go into it with a good heart thinking you're going to help these kids, but you can't deal with it, and I think the instinct is to try to like control the kid's behavior. But that's hard sometimes. Like, you don't know what the kid been through before they got there, what their triggers are. They might be stealing your shit. They might be fighting with people. They might be, setting fires, and so some people, they just not ready for that. And so they try to be, and then they like, I can't do it. You know what I mean? But still, so the effort to control it can lead, can very easily turn into abuse. Because I think for some people, depending on your level of parenting skills, or your level of empathy, your ability to show affection, like control is all you come up with. You don't got no fresh ideas because you're not parentally creative. And so, I don't have no empathy for this bitch. She killed that little boy because, obviously if the kid runs to the neighbor house, he ain't really running away. But there's something going on in that house where he don't want to be there. You know what I mean? And so the fact that she only got 4 years blows my fucking mind. Because I think you should get extra time if you fuck with the vulnerable kids. You know what I mean? Like, if you had accidentally killed your own kid, that's one thing. I think you should still get more than 4 fucking years and a year probation. But I just mean, but you're literally taking in the most vulnerable children. Like, because you guys think, like, you might think, oh, well, kids in foster homes, they finally safe. But no, like, vulnerable kids or troubled youth, they're the most easy to get away with abusing. You know what I mean? Because there's literally nowhere else for them to go. They might end up in a group home or, something worse than a foster home. So it's like, because the state is so desperate for shit, and they kind of turn a blind eye to like some abuse. You know what I mean? They're like, a little abuse, but we can't, because I bet I wouldn't be surprised if this bitch be right back with foster kids after she get out of prison. And she gonna still be 300 something pounds when she get out. You know what I mean? This bitch gonna be she gonna be trading everything for commissary. Yeah, I'm just shocked that you don't get the death penalty for killing a child. You know, for you to sit your 350-pound ass on a kid's midsection till you damage his organs, and then try to act like you didn't mean to. You know, like how is that your go-to move for a 10-year-old? Sit on them? Fucking Bam Bam Bigelow over here. She out here Rakishi and the foster kids. Man. I feel like all the news is gonna be negative about this bitch. Let's do one more. Yeah, that bitch is the devil. Demon devil. She looked like a fucking demon. This is an interesting headline. Wow. By the way, thanks for the people that be sending me in articles. I love that shit. Apology. This is from the BBC News. Apology after water cups reused at half marathon. No, absolutely not. Unacceptable. Unfucking acceptable behavior. And so speaking of which, this kind of connects back. I am very weird about drinking behind people. Okay, it's a psychological thing more than anything, because I've had this argument with a few of the women in my life, specifically certain ex-girlfriends have, because it's like, it doesn't make any sense logically. You know what I'm saying? We kiss on the mouth, I eat your pussy out, but I don't want you taking a sip out my motherfucking cup. And that is not logical. I understand that 1000%, but I can't help it. I just don't like it. Get your own fucking glass. We have plenty of glasses. We got plenty of beverages. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. You taking a bite off my sandwich, you taking a sip out my cup. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because in my very first foster home, there were probably at one time, probably 10 or 11 of kids in the house. And like I said, a lot of kids, they coming in with, psychological problems. And they love to experiment on the foster kids. They love to throw them on medication. Okay. And, so half of us are medicated. And at the time, they were trying to get me to take Ritalin. Right. And so this foster mother would, when it was time for everybody to take their meds, she would do it all at once, call everybody in the room, and rather than use 5 or 6 cups, we all had to share a cup. So she'd fill a cup up with water, and so if you wasn't first in line, that meant you had to drink behind fucking old yuck mouth over there. You know what I mean? And it was like torture for me, because I just saw what old boy was doing in the backyard we was playing when he was eating his boogers or ate a bug on a dare or some dumb shit like that, right? And you didn't see that shit. You just thinking about convenience. So it's like, yo, sip that motherfucker. It was that kind of shit. And it just did something to me, where it's like I was forced to drink behind nasty ass fucking people. And now I just can't do it. You know what I mean? It's something in my brain. It triggers like a fight or flight response. Once I see you drink out the cup, I can't fuck with you. I cannot fuck with you. And my cat, I'm surprised she didn't make an appearance, but she loves to do that shit. She won't drink any other drink, but if there's water in the cup and she know this is wild. I could give her own cup and she won't fuck with it. But once she see me sip out the cup, now she want to drink the cup. So it's like I've had her long enough now where I know that if I leave a cup of water behind somewhere and she is in the room, she drink out that motherfucker. You just got to assume, and drinking behind a cat is a risky affair, that I won't do it. So also keep in mind, the bitch spoiled. She has 2 fountains and she still be drinking on my shit. So, but I can't do it. So if I was running this marathon and got to the end of the marathon and found out that they was reusing the cups, I would overreact. I have several liters of backwash in my fucking body. I'm processing other people. That shit would make me so motherfucking mad. Okay. The rinsing and reusing of paper cups at one of the paper cups. Now I need blood. Somebody got to pay. I was imagining plastic cups. You rinsing out paper cups, my nigga? Paper cups, my nigga? What kind of trifling ass, nasty ass, ill-raised troglodyte sees fit to rinse off a paper anything unless somebody reuse it? Imagine that. You rinsing off paper plates and shit like that. That's the whole purpose of buying paper shit, so you don't got to reuse it. It's not even meant to be reused. Cause now, what good is rinse? The nasty shit done seeped into the fucking fiber of the shit. You can't clean a paper cup, stupid. And they ain't even attempt. They using water. They rinsing out a paper cup with water. What's the fucking point of that? You dumb bitch. Let me get back. The rinsing and reusing of paper cups at one of the Brighton Half Marathon's water stations has led to an apology being issued by the organizers. You need more than an apology, motherfucker. I need the motherfucker responsible to come to the front. That's one of those 5 minutes in the room alone type shit. Everybody get a lick. Everybody get a lick. The decision to rinse and reuse the cups when new ones ran out during Sunday's event has been described as an error of judgment. No shit. Organizers say they will be speaking to the volunteers involved. A leading virologist said the risk of passing on germs was very low. That's beside the motherfucking point, because it's not zero. You understand me? It's not zero. And I don't give a fuck what one virologist said. In a statement, the organizer said, towards the end of the race, one of our water stations ran out of paper cups for a short period of time and under pressure made an error of judgment to wash and reuse cups to meet demand from runners for water. Runners were told the cups were being reused at the time. They said, oh, okay. I guess that's different. If you told people, damn, I was really emotional about it. Now I feel, the organizer's statement continued, we do not condone any sharing or reusing of cups. We take this very seriously and will now be speaking to our teams post-race to strengthen our process for the future. Sarah Pitt, a virologist at the University of Brighton, told BBC, it's not ideal, but the only thing you can really catch is coughs and colds. Bitch, don't nobody want that neither. Only thing you can catch is a cough and a cold. Well, you come on over here and get a cold then, bitch. What you talking about? Only a cold. Sarah Pitt, a virologist at the University of Brighton. Yeah, okay. If people are, man, Sarah Pitt, a nasty bitch too. Fuck her too. If people are running the marathon, they're probably feeling fit and well before they started out, so the risk is extremely low. If anyone has got a cold having run the marathon, they might have actually been cooking one themselves, because sometimes during vigorous exercise reactivates the cold virus. Well, you can suck my dick, Sarah. No. We're not letting them off the hook that easy. Somebody got to pay. Let's get to these emails. Spam. Report that shit. Stupid bitch. Yeah. Okay. Carlos Esteban. Okay, I don't know if you wanted me to read. Are you in Italy? Well, that's a weird email to get. Carlos Esteban Benitez Garardo. Are you in Italy? Well, that's weird. It's weird how you spell Italy 2 times. This must be spam as well. Report that. Why the fuck would I be in Italy? That's a weird thing though. All right. What's Brian? I think he meant what's up, Brian. Just kidding, but this was my fuck up on my last email right on the first line, which I thought was hilarious. Okay. Yeah. Either way. During the recent hiatus, seeing how I was already caught up on all of your previous episodes, at least the ones after the restart, I was hearing some of your appearances on other pods on your ep with Christian from the Stevens. What is that? I'll say this. My discipline ain't as strong as it was back then, but one thing that'll never. Oh, okay. Chris Cope. Okay. You mentioned that the biggest thing at the 29:43 mark, you mentioned that the biggest thing that you got out of being in the military was learning how to do whatever you could, even when you are suffering, or how to get the job done despite being miserable. I wonder if you have more thoughts on this just in general, because on the episode, you only related this to comedy. Why was that so impactful, and why do you think people need to be taught that? Or in other words, why do you think this isn't an instinct for most people already? I'm sometimes amazed by these natural, counterintuitive human instincts, but I also only ponder about these things when I'm not doing what I should otherwise. I would not care less. Lastly, how do you actually adopt this mindset? Where does one start? Thanks, as always. Glad the pod is back. All the best. P.S. Sorry, but this has to be said. To the guy that wrote in on one of the last episodes asking about making a stand-up mic, and his argument being that it'd be durable. FFS, I don't know what FFS means. One of the cheapest, best, and most used mics since the 60s is literally the most durable thing. The Shure SM58. People use it to open beer bottles all the time, and much worse happens to those mics. They last a lifetime. Seems like such a comedy mic would literally just exist to take advantage of a small comedy club owner's ignorance, specifically if sold at a premium because it's for comedy. Even bigger clubs probably outsource gear acquisition to somebody that knows, and they would choose another mic. Basically, nobody with the smallest clue is falling for such marketing terms. Only comedic thing about it is that it's worth a good laugh. Even podcast mics are a scam, colloquially used. Terrible idea. Okay. Well, you wrote more about that nigga than you did about yourself. All right. So to your first question, how do you adopt this mindset, and why was that so impactful? No, it's not your natural human instinct. It's not anyone's instinct, actually, except honey badgers. Most other creatures, and not just creatures, but like water, electricity, like most things in the universe take the path of least resistance, right? I don't know if you've heard that term before, but you usually do what's easier for you or on you. And I think also you have a lot of people that have, they deal with suffering by just complaining. Or talking about how unfair things are and whoop, even when there's still something that needs to be done. You know what I mean? And until you have, so I think that's the whole thing behind working out in the morning or cold plunging, because some people say like it's nonsense, but the thing is, even if cold plunging doesn't have any direct effects on you, it's still something hard that you have to do right away in the morning. And I think like just overcoming, like pushing past that resistance to the hard thing makes everything else seem easier for the rest of the day, you know? And so I think that's what it is. Most people just haven't been pushed, and I genuinely believe that a lot of people don't even have the instinct to fight, If you observe the average person, they try until things get hard, and then they say that, and then they think they tried their hardest. They quit right when it starts to hurt, and and the way it was implemented to me is that drill instructors don't give a fuck about pain. They're just like, yo, run up that motherfucking hill. Oh, you tired? And the way they do it to you is, they do 5 times what they asking you to do. So they'll run up the hill 4 or 5 times, running back and forth. And you there sitting there looking crazy, struggling to go up there once. You running 3 miles. Guess what? They got up this morning before you and ran 6 miles. Now they running them 3 miles with you, and you gonna quit? It's that kind of thing. Or some people have like good dads that push them. While your mommy there to soothe you, your daddy there to push you. All of us aren't that lucky, but yeah, I think you can just implement it by just doing something difficult every day. Get up in the morning, do something difficult. And when you push past the pain, like do one more than you think you can do, whether you're doing push-ups or pull-ups, or whatever the fuck. Go until you fucking want to quit, till everything burns, and then do one more. And you'll realize that, like, you're training your mind to have mastery over your body rather than the other way around. And vice versa. You can train your body to have mastery over your mind, like, or be in sync with it. You know what I mean? And, all right, man, listen, we got to figure out how you can stop walking in front of the mic. All right. By the way, the cat is here. She just got back from the vet today, and she does not have AIDS. Or leukemia, but no AIDS. Okay, so we're going to put that on our Tinder profile. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. All right, next question. Samuel, thanks again for writing in. Hey there, Brian. My name is Cy, and I just discovered your podcast last year. Watching your show, everything seems clear from the external perspective, and you offer great seeds of knowledge in a solid way. That being said, a problem came up that I could use the king of advice input on. Yeah, I am the vice champ, not the king of advice. I'm the vice champ. Sorry for this long message in advance. Okay, let me see how long we're talking. All right. For background information, I'm a 23-year-old male who has been in a relationship with a 21-year-old female for 3 years, ongoing 4 now. Okay. She keeps pressuring marriage and kids, which really turns me off to the idea of either. It is always in the backseat of my mind saying maybe she'd be better off with finding someone who can give her those things immediately. Still, I just suppress these thoughts and contemplate separations every few weeks or months. Now, about 4 years ago, I fumbled this girl who I thought was the love of my life. We broke things off super early in our relationship and without closure. Since then, we have talked a few times about how we love and appreciate what we had, blah, blah, blah. It had been a solid year and a half or two since we talked until this most recent time. 3 days ago, I woke up at 3 a.m. to a message from her basically reading, I noticed you and your girlfriend still watch my stories even though we don't follow each other anymore. And I wanted to make sure I didn't do anything to upset either of one of you. Don't know if I'm overthinking it. Don't feel obligated to respond if you don't want to. Oh, God. She just sprinkled the manipulation in there. I hate that. Okay. I responded, basically letting her know I never really got over her, wonder how she's doing, and just like to check in every once in a while in a pretty heartfelt way. Emotional cheating. Her shortened response, don't be embarrassed. Sometimes I wonder about you and want to check on you too. If you ever need to talk about anything or need closure, I'm always open to discussion. I will always appreciate what we had. The rest of the conversation was just some small jokes here and there about being surprised by one another's message. With all of this, I've been left feeling even more repulsed by my current partner and even hopeful I can rekindle my old flame. On top of that, I have a month-long work trip to the town of my old flame coming up in April of this year. Keep that thing tight, beaver pussy. Okay, but you didn't ask me a question. Maybe somebody else can reach me in. Maybe somebody else can because that was a long email, but I don't see any questions throughout this whole thing. I mean, are you asking me what you should do, or if you're doing the right thing, or what? You know what I mean? So I'm just going to assume that that's your question, and I'll answer it this way. The best advice I can give any young person to help you better off making decisions is you have to remember two things. If you know your goals, it's not hard to make most decisions. If you know your priorities, it's not hard to make most decisions, okay? And the second thing is, when making decisions, you got to decide what kind of person you are. Let me put it a different way. When making decisions of this nature, okay, let me put it a different way. I think a lot of people make decisions from Billy. A lot of people make decisions based on what they want to have, when what you should be doing is making decisions off who you want to be. Right? And that makes decisions easier. It's like, and I've repeated this ad nauseum through so many episodes, through so many advice emails, and it's that, who will you be? Like, you decide who you want to be, and then decide which choice brings you closer to being that person, right? What would a person that is that? What decision would they make? You understand what I'm saying? Don't decide what you don't go. Well, this is what I want, so that's the choice I'm making, because making that choice might turn you into somebody you don't want to be. You understand what I mean? So, and the thing is, these two women, they have nothing to do with each other. Because and I'm hesitant unless there's like abuse to tell somebody to break up with their partner. But it sounds like you already checked out. You used the word repulsed. That's an interesting choice of words. Repulsive? If you repulsed by the person you with, I don't think you want to be with them no more. You know what I mean? And I don't think that has anything to do with you and your ex coming in contact with each other. You was already done with the old girl. You know what I mean? And your bond ain't that strong because you would have told her that your ex hit you up. You know what I mean? In fact, see, I'm one of these people where I'm not with that be friends with my ex shit. I'm no contact, delete you like you weren't there because of shit like this. And I love to use this analogy. It's like you ever switch banks and it's just like 40 cents left in your old bank account because it's too much of a pain in the ass to go down there for the bank to write you a 40-cent check, so you just leave it there, and then, some time goes by and you going through your emails and you see, oh, what the fuck? I got an overdraft fee on my old account or something like that. It's like, as long as you leave a little something there, there's always a chance that it can come back and interfere with your life. So it's like, if you that's why you don't hop right from one relationship to another, because you're still emotionally invested in that past one and you can't fully invest in the next one. So if you still got feelings for your ex, how can you be friends with them? It's one thing if you say, oh, I dated that girl in high school 20 years ago. It ain't nothing there. She a lesbian now, or, we just better as friends. And that was just or something like that. Like, if you got no feelings, maybe you could pull that off. I still don't see the point of that unless they like the best friend you've ever had or some shit. But other than that, it's like, just the fact that your ex was able to contact you. This is why I feel so bad for you young folks, man, because y'all are too connected. Y'all are so connected. No one can ever really be out of your life. Because I see you I see you watch my stories. You and your new girl watch your stories. Ooh, that's weird behavior. For your girl to be watching your ex's stories. But it's like, but even if you want to break up with somebody, it's like they still friends with people that's friends with you. They might see you tagged in something. They could do. It's websites you can pay, and they'll just tell you everything that's going on with a motherfucker and where they live now and all of this shit. And it's like, it's so hard to unravel your life from another person, especially somebody you was dealing with. But yeah, like I said, that decision's easy. You know what you want to do. You just have to ask yourself, is that who I want to be? Right? Do you want to be with this girl? Do you want to be the type of person that's wasting a woman's time? She wants to be married, you don't. She wants kids, you don't. You repulsed by her, she don't even know that. So you wasting her time. You know what I mean? Even if the ex-girlfriend wasn't in the picture, I would be like, why are you wasting that girl's time? You don't want to be with her, and the things she wants out of life, you don't want those things, at least not right now. And so if y'all haven't had that discussion where you're like, hey, I want kids, just not now, or I never want kids, or I never want to be married, or I think we're too young to be married, or I think I could do better. Don't say that, but But you know, I'm a firm believer in the fact that like you make rules for people you not really into. You put up restrictions for people you're not really into. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, cause you busting raw inside the X. You repulsed by your current girl. That is, I feel like the decision is obvious. You know, I don't see any reason why you would need my advice, but let me know how it turns out. I like to keep up with it. Okay. What the fuck is up with these weird ass emails from Italy? One more. Okay. Yerp. Okay. I've heard you briefly talk about your experience with psychedelics, but have you had a chance to try a DMT cartridge? Way different experience than the traditional DMT trip. If you have you ever looked at the stars during or even closed your eyes in a well-lit room? What the fuck is all that about? Someone made a crazier discovery with DMT. Check out this video. Let me see here. Oh, this is like a documentary. Well, I can't show this. I can't play this audio on my pod because it's another video, but I'll check that shit out later. Let's see what you say afterwards. Curious, your thoughts on this, or if you have any experience with it. It's definitely a profound experience, to say the least. Either way, can't wait for your show on the 29th. I hope this venue does reserved seating like Tacoma did, so my blind ass can see the show again. Oh, and did you hear God's Ghost Rider 3? Pretty dope song to get a shout out in. Oh, of course. Yeah, I fuck Dino Blesses the homie. Ghost Rider 3 is awesome. And he just put out a new joint called the video's dope. Where he's like impersonating 6ix9ine. It's called Nino the Industry Plant. No, that's what's on. Yeah, I mean, you know, he's one of the best lyricists on the planet. Yeah, but yeah, the shout out is fucking golden. What is the name of that fucking song though? Hold on. Is it called Industry Plant? Hold on, let me make sure I'm not. Oh, it's called Wrong One. Yeah, Wrong One. Nino Bless. That's the homie. Okay, your email continues. Oh no, that's the end of the email. Yeah. So I did that. I did Hold on, what the fuck? Okay. So yeah, it was nice to get a shout out to that. I was stunned just now because I'm up early in the morning because I have a flight in a few hours so I can make it to Albuquerque. But then American Airlines just canceled that flight and rebooked me for 9 p.m. The first show starts at 7 p.m. So how the fuck is that supposed to work? All right, we'll figure that shit out later. The point is, I appreciate y'all. If you want to support the podcast, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. If you want tickets to my shows, go to BrianSimpsonComedy.com. And I'll see y'all next time. Send all your emails. If you want advice from the advice champ, email me at BrianSimpsonComedy.com. I'm sorry, email me at BSwithBrianSimpson@gmail.com. If you want advice from the advice champ. And if I gave you advice, let me know how it turns out, because I don't follow my advice all the time. You know, love is blind. That kind of shit. Sometimes you get hit by a smooth criminal. Whatever. So now I got to figure this flight shit out. Love you guys. Keep it tight, Beaver Puss.